Hey, it's July 25th, and we're still sipping on our spiritual July juice. Today's meditation and reflection comes from a story Jesus told his disciples, and that story was about a rich man and a dishonest steward who worked for him. So the rich man called the steward and told him about the possibility of him losing his job due to his dishonesty. And this steward had to figure out how to secure his future after he must have lost his job. Then he thought about the debtors of his master, called them, reduced their bills, what they owed his master. Maybe probably to gain their friendship, after he must have lost his job, he would have people he could run to, talk to, or just sort of create a safe haven for him after he must have lost his job. Jesus commends the wisdom of this steward, only that the wisdom is limited to an earthly future for the man. And so Jesus tells his disciples to seek to secure an everlasting habitation as opposed to an earthly dwelling, just like the steward did. And then Jesus went further to uphold the principle that he that is faithful in small things is also faithful in much, and he that is unjust in small things is unjust in much. And so, as a Christian growing in faith and in my walk with God, this story teaches me, one, to invest in my gift and not to see or not to have a short-sighted scope about it. And meaning that I should think and see beyond earthly future. Think and see eternally, right? Scripture says, do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust doth destroy, and where thieves break and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven where moth and rust don't destroy, and thieves do not break and steal. As I reflect about it, laying up treasures in heaven looks like honoring God, loving God with all your heart, mind, soul, living for Him. Let your life give Him glory. It looks like loving your neighbor as yourself. It looks like your speech being seasoned with salt, graceful. It looks like, say you're financially wealthy and you're helpful toward the poor, but not as a means to show off, but with a sincerity of heart for the good of that person, right? It looks like using your talents to serve God, to honor God, and for the good of others as well. And to lay up treasures on earth looks like hating on others, like tearing others down, maybe through gossip, coveting your neighbor's goods. It looks like living a promiscuous life and being adamant to change. It looks like an unrepentant fornicator who thinks probably that's his or her best life he or she is living, and so on. So the next thing I learned from these statements of Jesus is to be faithful in small things. Because if you are faithful in small things, then you shall be trusted with more. So whether it is seen by man or not seen by man, do it with dedication, right? So long as it highlights God over the self, so long as your motives are pure, so long as it is to glorify God. Be dedicated, be diligent, be prudent, be confident, for God is a rewarder of faithfulness. He rewarded Jesus Christ with a name far above every other name after He accomplished His redemptive mission. And through that, we have come under the abundance of God's grace. So let's learn to yield our gifts and talents into the hands of God, who, seeing our diligence and prudence and faithfulness and dedication, will reward us with more. And in anything that we do, in everything that we do, may we see beyond our earthly future. Let's think and see eternally. Have a happy July.